Hi, I'm Meg. Welcome to plantfitmeg. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to jump into how to trick yourself into getting into the gym. Sometimes starting out in the gym can be a bit intimidating or just hard to get going, hard to get into a good rhythm when maybe you've been away from it for a while or you're just starting out. So I thought I would share my best tips for getting into the gym and sort of tricking yourself into getting there and making it as enjoyable as possible and making progress while you're there as well. So let's jump right into it. My first tip for getting into the gym is to have a plan before you go. And it could be as simple as I'm going to show up for this class on this day and you're jumping into a group fitness situation. It could be as simple as I'm going to go hang out on the treadmill for 20 minutes on this day at this time. The more specific you can be, the better. And it can be really helpful to just have that clarity, know what you're going to do before you even get there. And so you know exactly where you're going and what you're doing once you get into the gym facility. Related to having a plan and knowing what you're going to be doing and when is scheduling it in. So I talked about this in my fall reset video, and I've talked about it in other videos as well. But you're so much more likely to get into the gym and to actually show up and do the thing if you schedule it in and you prioritize it like you would any other appointment, any other meeting. It's sort of top of the list. It's a very high priority thing. And so if you do that and you commit to doing it and you show up, and then you have another day where you have it scheduled in and you show up and you prove to yourself that you can show up, you're doing the thing, that can be really reinforcing of wanting to go back into the gym environment and continue to show up and do the thing. Oftentimes the gym can kind of feel like an afterthought or kind of the bottom of the list, but if you consider it as part of your health and part of your overall well-being and just prioritize it a little bit higher, it can be really helpful in getting you there. Another thing that's really helped me get into the gym and helped my clients as well is preparing ahead of time. So having my bag packed and prepped and ready to go, having gym gear, gym clothing just laid out and ready for me the night before so that I can just grab it and go. I myself am an early morning exerciser, so I know not everyone is, but I basically just get up in the morning and go. So it makes it a lot easier for me if everything's just kind of laid out. I'm not fumbling around in the dark, disturbing my partner and things like that. So it just makes my life a lot easier to just get changed, grab my bag, and I'm out the door. I find that also visually, just having things laid out, and it's a visual reminder of, oh, this was my intention for the morning, this was my plan for the next day, and so it sort of reminds you that that's what you want to be doing and where you want to be going, and it can kind of just really simplify the whole process in just grabbing your stuff and getting out the door. Another thing that's really useful is to not overthink it. I think oftentimes with the gym and with exercising, there can be this push and pull of, I want to do it, but I don't really want to do it, and I'm tired, or maybe I don't think I have the energy, or I'm not too sure if I really want to go or not. And there can be a lot of this back and forth kind of decision making internally. And I think the best thing to do is to just not overthink it. The intention was to go to the gym, you have it scheduled in, it's part of your plan, just get up and go. Obviously, things do come up occasionally where you might have to miss a day or you might have to rearrange things a little bit. But for the most part, if you're feeling well physically, you're not physically ill or anything like that, then you may as well just go and get your workout in and not have this internal battle back and forth of will I, won't I, I'm not sure. It was the intention, it was what you wanted to do the night before. Get up and get moving. Or if it's after work for the day, maybe you've had a rough day, you're tired. We've all had days like that. You'll probably feel better for going into the gym and working it out and getting your body moving and checking that box on your list of things to do. Tell yourself that you just need to show up. So I think sometimes we get into the habit of our workouts typically look a certain way and we need them to look the same every day. And that's not really realistic. Sometimes we are limited on time for whatever reason. Sometimes we just don't have the same energy level and the same output, and that's okay. We're human, and those things shift over time with different days and different phases of what's going on in our lives. And so if you can't fit in an hour, and usually you're used to going for an hour, instead of just not going completely, can you fit in 45 minutes? Can you fit in half an hour? Can you fit in 15, 20 minutes even to just show up and get a little bit of movement in? And maybe it doesn't look exactly the same, but you're still getting there and you're still showing up for yourself. I think it's a good perspective to have that it's not always going to look the same, and that's okay. And having a plan B for when plan A doesn't quite work out. Maybe you miss your alarm, you wake up a little bit late, but do you still have time to fit in, 20 minutes or half an hour instead of a full hour? Great, go for it. Don't overthink it. Just go and fit it in and get it done. Something I used to do that I try really hard not to do anymore is really catastrophizing the whole situation and thinking I'm too tired, it's too hard, I don't have the energy, and kind of just telling myself that I can't do it. And then feeling like I really can't do it and not showing up. And it's really helpful in those moments to really tune into how you actually feel, because sometimes our thoughts and our feelings and how we're actually doing line up, but sometimes they don't. So sometimes I'll have that thought of, oh, I'm so tired. And then I take a step back. Am I really so tired? Let's put this into perspective. How am I actually doing? How am I really feeling? And am I just sort of overemphasizing the negative and sort of focusing my energy there when I could just really take in how I'm actually feeling and process it and reframe the way that I'm thinking about it a little bit so that it's easier to get myself going. And so if I'm tired, maybe I am genuinely tired. Maybe I'm genuinely didn't sleep well the night before. And instead of really overemphasizing that and dwelling on it, oh, this is so hard. This is, such, the end of the world, such a big deal, kind of minimizing it a little bit where it's like, yeah, I'm tired and I can still show up. I can still go to the gym and do what I can. And maybe my intensity is not quite as high, or maybe my workout isn't as long, but I'm still showing up for myself and doing what I can within that time frame and within that day. I think in those moments it can also be really helpful to tell yourself that you're strong, tell yourself that you're capable. I catch myself all the time being like, you've got this, Meg, you're okay, you can do it. And it might sound kind of silly, but it is really helpful and really that helps you get going. And whether it's getting into the gym or while you're there and you're in the moment of lifting something heavy or going on the cardio machine and you feel like you can't really go anymore and you're, feeling tired, it's like, you've got this. And you just kind of tell yourself that. And it can take some practice and some time to figure out how to do that. For some people, it really doesn't come naturally to give yourself that positive reinforcement. But I think if you think about how you would encourage someone else, how you would encourage someone that you really care about, and how you would kind of be their cheerleader and be on their side and be like, yeah, you got this, you're awesome, like keep going, then you can kind of redirect that energy to yourself and give yourself that engagement and that support to keep going. Another way to think about this is if you have an online coach, envision that they're there with you. Like pretend that they're there with you, and what would they be saying to you? What would the energy and the vibe be like? Can you do that one more rep with your coach there, seeing what's happening and kind of being there for encouragement and support and for pushing you to that next level? And even if you don't have a coach, if there's someone in your life or even just someone online who's really encouraging and someone you can kind of envision with you who is cheering you on and kind of helping you through it, that can be really helpful. If you don't have a gym buddy or you don't have a trainer in person, it can be helpful to to have that visual and kind of imagine what it would be like to have someone with you and either walking you through it or encouraging you and being really supportive and helpful. Something I highly recommend is to have something to look forward to while you're doing your training. So while you're lifting your weights or you're doing your workout, whatever it is, have something to look forward to. So whether it's an awesome playlist, whether it's a podcast, an audio book, something that you can be engaged in that will help pass the time can be really, really helpful. I've found this incredibly helpful, especially with getting into doing more cardio lately. It's been really, really useful. Put on a YouTube video, put on a podcast, and I only listen to it or watch it while I'm doing cardio so that I sort of look forward to cardio the next time around because I've reserved that specific podcast episode or that specific YouTube video or whatever it is. It could even be like a TV show or a movie or something like that that you can put on, and it really helps pass the time, and it really makes it so that I'm looking forward to it, the cardio session, because I'm looking forward to this other thing that's attached to the cardio session. I also try really hard to not look at the clock. Obviously, I need to have some gauge of time to a certain degree to make sure that I'm, getting through my workout in a timely manner. And at the same time, I don't want to be constantly looking at my watch or looking at the clock and constantly like, oh, the time's not passing. And again, for me, this is particularly with cardio where you're watching the timer on your machine and it seems to tick so slowly. If you're watching it, it's kind of like watching the kettle boil or watching a pot on the stove boil, right? And if you're watching it, it seems like it takes forever. But if you kind of step away and like aren't as engaged in paying attention to it, it seems to go a lot quicker. So I have found that if I just cover the timing on the machine, either with my phone if it's set up that way, or just with a little post-it note or something, and I set the machine for the time period that I need, or I just set a timer on my phone, or if I have a specific episode that I'm watching of something, then that's sort of like my time management and time constraint there, and just not being as focused on the time. I'm still checking in periodically, but I'm not watching it just the seconds tick by, right? So that can be really helpful in helping the time pass a little bit more quickly and kind of tricking yourself into continuing to go. And I found that also just telling yourself that you could do one more minute, and focusing on just the next minute or the next 5-minute segment rather than, oh, I have to be on this machine for 30 minutes or for an hour. Really just focusing on like bite-sized chunks. I can do 5 more minutes, no problem. I can do 5 more minutes, no problem. And you just kind of continue to do that to sort of trick your brain into thinking it's not a big deal when it amounts to the same amount of time. That can also be helpful. Another thing that can be really useful and might sound really silly, I think I've mentioned it in another video before, is feeling like you are main character energy, feeling like you're a superhero or someone really strong and powerful, and kind of visualizing that for yourself while you're in the moment, while you're doing things. And I think I've mentioned it before about running particularly, because I used to be a runner. Now I'm more into lifting weights and other things, but I would have my sweater or my coat like tied up around my waist, and I would envision that as like my cape flying out behind me. I know, it sounds insane. It sounds ridiculous, but it's actually really helpful, and it kind of makes it more fun too, to kind of put yourself into this creative space where you're sort of envisioning what you would be like as like a superhero who can be really, really fast on your feet and really strong and really powerful. And it's kind of the same when I'm lifting weights in the gym, not so much the cape flying out behind me thing, but just feeling like I have this inner strength and inner power, and kind of embodying that superhero vibe can be really helpful. Like She-Hulk and Wonder Woman over here, they can do one more rep, I can do one more rep too. And so it can be a helpful little thing and can kind of make it more fun to get your workout in as well. So I hope all of these tips were helpful to you. Let me know what your favorite tip was, or let me know if you have other tips and other ways that you kind of trick yourself into getting into the gym or trick yourself into making progress. I would love to hear your thoughts and your tips in the comment section below. Let's continue the conversation. I've been lonely a little bit in the comment section lately, so I'd love to continue the conversation there. Remember to like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There are many people watching the video who haven't subscribed yet, so I'd love to have you as part of the plantfitmeg community. Know that I'm always cheering you on, and you could watch my YouTube videos and my channel, pick a playlist and go through it while you're doing your cardio, and know that I'm there cheering you on and wishing you all the best on your health and fitness journey. If you need additional support, you can reach out to me for one-on-one coaching. I am taking on more clients at the moment. And otherwise, enjoy all of the lovely free content on my channel while you're here. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!